Hey everyone, my name's Ray and I run Agent Auto here in Kansas City, Missouri. Just starting this video channel, just wanted to introduce myself, let you all know basically what the channel is going to be about. Basically, I'm just going to be doing some reviews, etc. on vehicles, various vehicles. I've got various vehicles here to do a review, including the one that I'm in at the moment, which is a 2005 Jaguar S-Type. Anyway, like I said, going to be doing some reviews and reviews on equipment, etc. as well, for jump starters and chargers and whatever else you need for the vehicle, LED headlights, etc. And do some maintenance as well. I've been in the car trade since, well, before I left school, which was way back when, back in the early 80s. and that was back home in England. Anyway, yeah, like I said, doing the reviews, etc. and also tips and trips. Get it out in a minute, eh? It's been a cold night. The heating went out a couple of nights ago, so and of course it went down to the teens when the furnace decides to quit. So anyway, yeah, like I said, going to be doing some tips on buying vehicles from either individuals, private parties, and certainly from dealerships. If you're looking to buy a vehicle from a dealership, do your due diligence and make sure that you know about the vehicle in which you're going to look at. I mean, if you're looking to get a certain type of vehicle, let's say you want to get a Chrysler minivan, for example. I'm actually looking for one myself at the moment. Go online, look at the forums, look at the get to know the points and what go wrong on these vehicles. And when you go out on test driving, certainly touch every button. If it's got all the bells and whistles, make sure the bells and whistles work. Especially if you're looking for a used vehicle, like what I'm doing at the moment. In particular, the vehicle I'm looking for, my Dodge Grand Caravan, has an major issue with it, that I'm not willing to put any more money into the vehicle. But I do like the vehicle anyway, and that particular vehicle, which is a 2012, has comes in three goes across three manufacturers. So like I said, it's a Dodge Grand Caravan, and you can also get it in the Chrysler Town and Country, which is a little bit more refined than the Dodge. And then you go up to a Volkswagen Routan, which is a little bit of a different body style to it. The Germans have added their little twists, details on it, so the front end looks a little bit different. The rear lights look a little bit different. And unfortunately, the stow and go feature, which I like through the Dodge and the Town and Country, doesn't go all the way through on a Routan. You have to you can stow and go the rear seats, the very rear seats, but you can't do that on the second row. They're actually captain's chairs, but they're very comfortable. But you still got the bins in the floor, so you still got room in that to put stuff. But yeah, but do your due diligence on what to look for, and when you go out on a test drive, you know, look at everything, make sure everything works. If it doesn't, then you can use that and it's a feature that you don't really care about anyway. Don't tell the salesperson that. Just make sure to use it as a negotiating tool. pretend that you do want to, that it is a feature that you would have liked, and you know, you're worried about if anything else is going to go wrong in the car. And like I said, just use it as a negotiating tool. And one thing, I took a vehicle out from a dealership yesterday, and the vehicle, when I took it out, the heating wasn't working. It had heated seats in it, which were a little bit too brutal if you had them on the highest setting, which is what it goes to as soon as you hit the button on that. But the heating didn't work in the vehicle, and when I got back to the dealership and I parked it up, I was trying to go through the system to see why it wasn't working, and then I looked up at the gauge and went, oh dear, it's overheating. So and I don't think it was at a price point where I was buying a $200 vehicle. It wasn't like I was buying that. It was in several thousands. Actually, it was about $7,000 vehicle, and it was definitely not worth it. But the pictures of it online look very, very nice. So it had obviously sat there for a little bit, and so don't always just go on the pictures. Cameras nowadays, I mean, they tend to make the cars look really, really nice. It seemed that this dealership had put more work into cleaning the vehicle for the most part, although outside was obviously a bit dirty, but that's going to happen. Inside wasn't particularly clean when I got it. I mean, I'm not a clean freak at all, but it's it had obviously been on a few other rides, and it just the mechanical parts had obviously not been looked at particularly well. Operation of the vehicle. So really, you need to go to a dealership that you may know. I mean, in this particular climate now, where we're looking, where vehicles are still quite expensive, new vehicles are coming into garages now, so used vehicles should in fact be coming down a lot more, but then they don't appear to be. There's still a shortage of good vehicles by the looks of it, good used vehicles, and they're just not coming down as quickly, unfortunately. I don't know if they're ever going to go back to where they were in the first place before the pandemic, etc., but it's just one can hope, I suppose. But I don't think we're ever going to go down that low. Blimey, what was that? Anyway, I'm actually out on the driveway at the moment. It's in quite a nice and bright out here to do video in. So yeah, one thing I will tell, there's a thing. If you're looking to trade in a vehicle for a car at a dealership, if you do insist on going to a dealership, I mean, there's advantages and disadvantages of going to a dealership, whether you're buying a new car or a used car. Like I said, just always study what you're going to go in and look at. Even if you go to even if you're at the dealership and you see something else that you kind of like to look of rather, then just step away and, you know, get your phone and have a look at points of interest on these vehicles, points of failures on the vehicles. That's really what you need to look at, and that way when you go back and you think, well, okay, I still like the look of it, at least you'll have some knowledge of it before the salesman hopefully comes out and grabs you to want you to sign up for the bloody thing, or take it out for a spin at least. And one point that I will always say, when you go to a dealership, and you know, always take a spare key with you, because if you're looking to trade in a vehicle and the dealership, you know, the dealership is going to ask you for your keys, because they'll want to appraise the vehicle. But it's not only that they want to appraise the vehicle. The dealership will want to use that as a keep you at the dealership for a while, to try and weaken you a little bit into buying a car. Some dealerships are really bad for that. Unfortunately, the last dealership that I was at, that was one thing that they would do, and that was one thing I didn't really appreciate. But don't take that as that's what they do at every dealership, but it's does happen a lot more often. So when you go to a car dealer, always have a valet key, or get another key cut. I mean, you don't have to give them your remote. Just get another key, just maybe not like your door key, but just give them another key for the car. If you're like me, this car I've got here came with 6 keys, although they were 6 flipping remote keys that came with it. But you don't want to give them one of these. Just give them, you know, get another key cut without the remote on it, preferably. Or if you can get a cheaper remote, then give them and get that one cut. Then give them that. And the reason I say that is because the dealership, like I said, are going to want to keep you there, and they'll take your car around to the back or the side of the building, or they'll just leave it wherever you've parked it, take some pictures of it, get the details all off of it that they want, and then they'll bid you on it. And also make sure that, you know, get an idea of how much your vehicle is actually worth just by looking through the ads, etc. And look at it realistically. Look at the condition of your vehicle. If it's an old piece of crud that is on its last legs, then don't worry about it. Excuse me. But just yeah, that's the one thing I say, is always get a spare key, because if you get to a point that that you just really had enough and you don't want, they're coming up with stupid figures, or they're just pressurizing you to try and make a deal and you don't want to do it, and they're not giving you the keys back to the car, then always, if you've got a key in your pocket and you don't give them any paperwork, if you've got just the key in your pocket, then you can just walk out of the dealership, get in the car and just go. Because at the end of the day, I don't like doing the pressurising. I hate it. That's always been my thing at the dealership, is that I don't want to be pressurised in buying a vehicle. Because it's a big purchase. It's a very big purchase for the most part. Whether you're buying a $500 vehicle or a $1,000 vehicle, for example, or a $50,000 vehicle or above. At the end of the day, you've had to work hard for that flipping money, and you're not going to be wanting to put a grand into a car, or a couple of grand, whatever it be, or 50 grand into a car and be pressurised into doing it. I don't appreciate that. I really don't like to do that. I don't like to do that, and I definitely do not like it done to me. So yeah, that's my first, like I said, this is my first video, and that's just a few tips. We're coming up to tax time, or we're in tax time now. Also look at dealerships' prices. Look through the Vipin, Craigslist, etc. Look through Facebook Marketplace, and make sure to look at the ads over and over again. It'll drive you crazy, no doubt, but it might be exciting for some of you. Especially if you've got an idea of the vehicle that you want. And like, for example, I said, you know, I'm currently looking for a minivan. And I just like the versatility of a minivan. I like it because it sits up a little bit higher too. But this morning I was looking through the ad and through the listings on Facebook Marketplace, and there's been one on there that I've seen several times. And I did write to the seller earlier on, and they didn't seem to be so enthusiastic. It was from a dealership, a used car dealership that I don't know whether I don't know why, but why they just didn't bother to write anything, any details on the vehicle. Pictures are absolute crap on it. It had obviously come in and they just taken the pictures of the outside and just took pictures through the window. That was seeing what they did on that. And I was waiting for more pictures to come in on it, but nothing came in. And then this morning, just before I came out, there was a I saw that it just popped up in all the listings, and they'd added some more pictures of the inside and a couple more of the outside. They hadn't cleaned it, that's for sure, but anyway, there was more pictures of it, and the price had gone up by $1,000. But you'll find that that's what's going to happen now. It's tax time is here. Dealers are a lot of dealers are just taking advantage of that. They're putting up prices of vehicles because they know that people have got money in their pocket, people from refunds, etc. And they're just wanting to get all they can. Tax time apparently is like a time that a lot of them make a lot more money. It's like the best time for a dealership. For some dealerships, at least. So really be careful. Know what you're buying. Do your due diligence on what. If you're looking for a particular vehicle, just look. If you're looking for a brand new vehicle, definitely look. Know what you're buying. Know what you want in the car. Know what you want from the car. Are you buying a car for a business? Are you buying it for the family? Do you need a minivan? Do you really just need a hatchback? Do you just need a saloon car, like we call it back home, but you call it sedan here? Know what you want from the vehicle. Are you going to be carrying stuff in it? Are you just going to be using it to go to and from work? Is it just you that's just needing it? Do you really need all that much room in the vehicle? Or do you just want a smaller vehicle that's got all the bells and whistles on it? Just know what you want. Know what you want. Don't go into a dealership blindly. I mean, just know. And also, the roads are a virtual showroom. For the most part, you don't even need to bloody well go into a car dealership. And there's a lot of salespeople that will try to, they're there to get a commission, and they'll quite willingly sign you up with no care. So, of how it's going to affect you, etc. Anyway, so that's the first tip. Due diligence and take a 15 spare key. Get one cut. That way you can walk out if you're trading in a vehicle. And for And sometimes, you know, the dealership, I mean, another tip is dealership, they may well not give you enough money for your car. If they're only going to, if you think that you got a $5,000 car and they're only going to give you 500 or $1,000 or something, think about, do you have room to put another vehicle? Do you have, I mean, if they're going to give you $1,000 off of that, $1,000 for your car that you think's worth $5,000, or you still have attachment to it, or you think, maybe I can use that vehicle. Let's say you've got a minivan that you don't really use so much anymore, but but you could use with on occasions. What you could do, and you're going down to, I don't know, a saloon car, a sedan, or whatever, or a hatchback or something. If you don't feel that the money's worth it on that vehicle, on the trade-in, then don't trade it in, because it's not going to affect your payment much for $1,000 or a couple of grand even. And you've got room for that vehicle at home, keep the vehicle. Keep the vehicle, keep it at the side of your house. If you got, like I said, if you got the room, or if you got a double garage, put it the other side, leave it in the garage too. Just use it for occasions, or use it for when you have to take the other vehicle in for repair, because not every dealership has a loan car. So you could just in effect keep the other vehicle as a spare vehicle for when that happens. And what you can do is with I know with my insurance, and I know that with AAA as well, you can actually put your second vehicle on storage insurance. So instead of costing you $100 a month storage insurance, where the car will still be fully insured, you won't be able to use it on the roadway, but you'll be able, if something happens to it, it's covered. If you got it on the driveway, etc., and a tree falls on it, the vehicle's covered. But it only costs you about $10 a month, $5 or $10 a month for that. So yeah, so there's a few things to think of there. But anyway, like I said, it's just really an introduction video, and I'll go into more on other videos. But anyway, if you want to keep up with me, all the things that I'm going to be getting up to, do subscribe. Tell friends, etc., that you got this crazy old British bloke that you're going to be listening to, who obviously needs a trim. I'm still in my winter coat here. I'm quite happy to get rid of this beard soon, because getting fed up with sharing my dinner with it, but at least it keeps me warmer in the rather wintry weather. But yeah, so tell friends, family, and if you got questions, feel free to ask me questions too. This isn't just because I'm from England doesn't mean that I'm going to go all Top Gear on everyone. I'm not going to be driving in $1 million reviewing, or driving $1 million flipping McLarens and flipping Ferraris and whatever else. I'm not going to be doing a Jeremy Clarkson and going flipping absolute crazy. Well, not as crazy. Anyway, but you know, it's just dealing with real world cars that I want to deal with. Not that I say that I don't like a flipping look at a McLaren or whatever, but it's not really what I'm going to be doing. I'm more into vehicles that you can use every day, and you know, tips and tricks on them in it, and buying and selling. I will tell you how to sell a vehicle, how I feel you should sell a vehicle. Alright, anyway, thanks for watching. Like I said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you would. It all helps the channel grow, apparently. And hit the little bell icon as well. I'm going to try and do these on a weekly basis videos on a weekly basis. I do have a couple of other channels too, but none of them to do with cars. Alright, anyway, thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye-bye.